Tony. I'm a grateful recovered alcoholic and addict. I say recovered alcoholic and addict because I'm recovered from an obsession and the hopeless state of mind. You can recover from the hopeless state of mind. And it says in the big book that you can recover from a hopeless state of mind. It says that in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, and that's what I'm about. It's about working the steps. So how many of you guys have been in here before? Yeah, I've seen you before, right? I know you. Been in here before? I know you've been in here before. Been in here before. No different to the program. You know what's up. Never been in here before? First time? Been in here before? Alright, well I'm gonna shut this door here. How's you doing, my friend? So I went and seen the Tupac movie today.
Was it good?
It was good. I had to go see that movie today. There was a good message in there. There was a couple good messages in there. One of the messages in there is he talked about, when he was talking in there, he talked about how they were asking.
Terrence on.
They were asking him about, someone was interviewing him and something, and they was asking him about why what he does and this and that. And he says, because the only way you're going to help your people is by being where they've been. It's the only way you're going to get them out. And that's why I'm here today. Because I've been where you've been. And I'm trying to help you to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing that you've done that I ain't done or someone else ain't already done. And that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? We've been where you've been. I've done what you've done. If it's got a name, it's been done before. You know what I'm saying? So we're here to help you. We're here to pull this thing out of you. I don't get paid for this. I'm not paid to do this. I'm not, a motivational speaker, but I don't, none of this. I do this because I believe in what I've done, and I believe in the program. I believe in the steps, and I believe that there's a way out of your situation that you continue to keep doing over and time again. And there's a way out, but you gotta want it, and you gotta want to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that you're gonna have to admit to yourself that you want to change, and that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, there was another part of that movie, man. Like I said, it was a good movie. There was some good stuff in there. And one of the things I want to write to people and say, man, they stole my stuff. Because the thing I talk about is the 24 hours. And there was a part in there where Tupac was going up there into this carnival type thing, and these other dudes were harassing him. Some street dudes were harassing him and stuff, hating on him or whatnot. And he went up to the dude and he said, "Man, you got the same 24 hours I got. I just do stuff with mine." And that's what I'm all about. Anybody that knows me, that's what my whole message is about. It's about 24 hours. I don't care if you're black, white, Mexican. I don't care what you are. We all got the same 24 hours, my friends. The same 24 hours we are given the option. It's what you do with your 24 hours that matters. It's what you do with your 24 hours. See, a lot of people say, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." I say, show me a log of your 24 hours and what you do with your 24 hours, and I'll show you where you'll be in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Because I had the same option of 24 hours as a lot of other people that came into me with the program. And a lot of them people either dead or gone or struggling and keep coming in and out. Because they didn't take the opportunity with their 24 hours and do something with it. When I came to complete defeat and surrender, I was willing to do whatever it took with that 24 hours. And in that 24 hours, they told me to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and pray and go pick a guy up that I don't even know at 6:30 in the morning and get to a 7 o'clock morning meeting. So that's what I did. And then from that 7 o'clock meeting, it ended at 8. And then I went over and took that guy home. And then I went over to the 10 o'clock meeting. And then from the 10 o'clock, I went to the noon meeting. And then from the noon meeting, I went and I just never stopped. And I kept going because I didn't have a job. I had nothing to do. So I used my 24 hours to the max that I could use it for. And I did that for the first 6 months of my sobriety. I did that for the first 6 months of my sobriety. I grinded it. I grinded it and grinded it and grinded it. And at 5 months, they asked me to do an open talk. And there was people that, the old timers, I don't know if you guys have been around the program, but a lot of these guys are in their traditions. It's kind of like church. Certain things, oh, they got to do this, and if you don't do that, it's the religious, like, sacrificial stuff, right? And in AA, it's like, if he ain't got to hear, he can't speak. He can't do an open talk. Well, my sponsor said, this man's been working hard. He's been using his 24 hours. He's doing a talk in 5 months. And I got up there and I did my talk. And I'd never even said any amount of time I had. I just shared my hopes and experiences and what I know. And people with 20 years were coming up to me and saying, how much time you got? You never said how much time you got. I said, I got 5 months. They just couldn't believe it. Because it ain't about it's not about the quality. It's about the quantity. It's not about the quantity. It's about the quality. You know what I'm saying? It's not about how much you got. It's about what you do with it. It's about how you work it. A guy that works out at the gym constantly every day is going to have more results after 5 months than a guy that only goes once or twice a week. That's how it works. So what do you do with your 24 hours? You guys got 30 days up in here. What are you doing with your 30 days? Are you coming in here, drawing, talking, socializing, talking about what you did and where you're from, and da-da-da-da-da? Are you doing all that? Or are you grinding, reading a book, writing down stuff, highlighting stuff, da-da-da-da-da? That's what are you doing with it? You got 30 days to come in here, and when you leave here, you could be strong and ready to go. 30 days under your belt. Because I'm going to tell you something, when you leave here, it all starts over again. It's going to get busy, there's going to be distractions, there's going to be things pulling you each and every way. A couple people when I first came up in here asked me about the 180 program and the 180 thing. You know what I'm saying? They asked me about it and said, what's it about, this and that? And there was a guy that came here that was here and then just got to the house today. And he wasn't explained to about what 180 is. It's an elite group of people, man. I come from the streets. I'm from the struggle. I've been through it all, man. I've been through it, okay? Been through the struggle, been through it. So we're an elite group that we don't play games. We're here because this is a life or death situation and we've seen people die. And we don't want to see that happen, and we try to create a thing to where we love on you, we're here for you, we're here to do anything we can for you, to treat you like family, to give you to respect you, to give you trust, to give you responsibility, to treat you like a human being. We have a gym, we have all these different things that we have to help you, to get you, good with self, man, just loving yourself again. But it's a lot of structure, man. Because I'm a firm believer of the big book where it says, wife or no wife, job or no job, if you ain't got dependence upon God, then you ain't going to make it. Because this is a spiritual life. This spiritual life is not a theory, you have to live it. This is a spiritual program, because I'm going to tell you something right now, it ain't about drugs and alcohol. Because drugs and alcohol, I've been sober 8 years, and I still deal with issues here and there. It's a spiritual battle that I'm bankrupt from, that I need to be helped with. Alcohol and drugs are a symptom of the real problem. It's the spiritual life is a theory. It's not a theory. We have to live it. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to say is, when I say no wife or job, how many people here have kids? How many people here have kids? Okay. And a wife. You got a wife. You got a wife. Now I'm going to ask you an honest question. How many of you come in here and are just thinking about your wife and your kids? Which I'm not saying you're not supposed to, but all you're thinking about is, I got to get back to him, I got to do that, and I got to do that. And your mind's running about that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You should think about your family. I'm not saying it's not. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me twisted. I'm not saying it's not. But what I'm saying is the first thing you do when you leave here, a lot of the guys that I know, because I've asked that question and I know a lot of the guys, and the first thing they want to do is they got to hurry up and get home, they got to see the kids, they got to see that. Because I'm going to tell you something.
Right,
you guys might not be spiritual, you guys might not believe in God or whatever, but it's a spiritual battle that you're dealing with out there. And it's designed to distract you. That's another thing he said on that. That's another thing that was the most powerful thing he said on that movie, All Eyes on Me today, is he said, Tupac's mother said to him, the world is going to give you all the tools you need to destroy yourself. Gave me goosebumps thinking about it. The world will give you all the tools you need to destroy yourself. And don't think when you leave here, and if you go, and the first thing you do is you go home to see baby and wifey, and you're going to get distracted, man. You're going to put Facebook back on your phone. You got Facebook on your phone, so you're scrolling through there, seeing what people are doing. Baby mama needs money, the kids are crying, and you can't get to a meeting because you're busy. You got to cut the grass, you got to do that. Next thing you know, boom! You're wiped up off it again. Wife or no wife, job or no job. If you ain't got dependence upon God, you ain't going to make it. It's just how it is, man. So when you leave here, on Monday nights, they have this thing called Bridge the Gap. John Anderson comes in here, talks to you guys. And he says the first thing you need to do is call and go to a meeting. Because you got to get plugged in. You got to get plugged in somewhere. Right now, you're plugged into a source. You're here right now. But where are you going to be when you leave here? How are you going to get plugged in? You got to run and get plugged in first before you can do other things. I'm just being real with you. I've seen people fall. That's why people revolving doors. What did you do when you left here? What did you do when you left here?
I was sober for about 2 months and everything else.
Right, but what did you do when you first left?
I actually did go to a meeting.
You went to a meeting. Okay. That's good. What did you do when you left?
Drove it bad. I took that good for a shotgun Johnny's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, flatline.
Really?
Doing all drugs, something on I. Pretty much off.
Off and run. A lot of people, they leave, they go home, get distracted, things get going on. Different things for different folks. Did you go to a lot of meetings? Did you get plugged in? Did you stay plugged in?
I found a really good sponsor. No, I did not stay plugged in.
You didn't stay plugged in. You got to stay plugged in. You got to continue to stay plugged in. It's like a refrigerator. I unplug a refrigerator. That stuff in the refrigerator will stay good for a minute. The stuff in the refrigerator, you unplug the refrigerator, the stuff will stay good for a minute. But eventually it's going to start rotting and decaying. And before you know it, it's going to be moldy and full of crap. You got to stay plugged into the source. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay plugged in. Spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? We are powerless over alcohol and drugs, whatever you want to say. We're powerless over drugs and alcohol, and our lives have become unmanageable. My life was unmanageable, my friends. I'm not even going to get into what, I definitely qualify to be here. I'm probably the sickest one in this place. Done a lot of bad things. I'm not here to tell you about that, but I'm just telling you, my life was unmanageable. My life was totally unmanageable before I got clean and sober. Anything that's been done, stealing from family, robbing people, doing bad things, done it all. You know what I'm saying? Saying I'm going to be places that I'm not going to be, but then I don't show up because I'd rather be getting high than showing up. I know that I had a commitment to be somewhere at 3 o'clock, but my boy called me at 12 o'clock, told me to come over and smoke a J. He had some things for me. Went over there and smoked that J. Next thing you know, we're popping pills. Next thing you know, I forgot about my commitment at 3 o'clock. Because that's how powerless over drugs and alcohol is over my life. Because once I even go that way, it calls I don't know about you, but it calls my name. And I obsess over it until the only way to shut it off is to go use. The only way to shut it off is just to go and use. I gotta get high, I gotta get high, man. Man, I just need a little something to get me going, start me going, man. Then I need to feel good, oh man. And then, I'll tell you, the opiates is the worst, man. Because you gotta have it. You gotta have it. How many here people do opiates? It's like the epidemic of the world, you know what I'm saying? But that's it. That's like the drug dealers' thing, man. They love it. Because, man, you gotta have that. There ain't even no, you gotta have that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that. At least with the crack and the cocaine, you can only do so much. I used to do so much, sniff so much, then you have to smoke it, then eventually you just gotta have to stop. Eventually you gotta stop. But with the opiates, you can't stop. Or you won't feel good, you'll be puking, going through withdrawals. When I came to the end of my thing, man, I was never one of them Suboxone types or anything like that. I just knew when I was done. Because I was always that guy like, what's the point? What's the point of using a crutch? You know what I'm saying? Because to me, Suboxone is just a crutch. It's just go along with the deal is that I'm going to get sick. And I got to get sick in order to get better. And I got to go through the pain so that I know what I don't want to do again. You know, because I did that pain, I tell you, that pain that I went through made me never want to do that again. Some people don't. They get dope sick and then they go through it and they do it again. They start the whole process over. But it's different for everybody. But, you know, I'm powerless over that stuff because I know that, man, once I drink one beer and next thing you know, I just want another one. I just want another one and another one and another, just a little bit more, you know. I mean, I'm the kind of person, I get the tickle in the toes, I want it to get to my heart and my head, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they asked me this, you know, how do you know you're an alcoholic? Because I really didn't think I had a problem with alcohol. I didn't cross my mind. I know I had a problem with drugs and people snitching on me and the police kicking down my door. I mean, if everyone would just stop snitching and let me do what I want to do, we'd be good to go. But that's not how it works. It is illegal to sell drugs. But I just wanted to let everybody let me do what I wanted to do. I tell you right now, man, that obsession is out of control. And the obsession that was going on in my mind, it just took me to places, man. I just powerless over, man. I just had no control over it. And they told me, how do you know you're an alcoholic? And I said, I don't know. I don't think I'm an alcoholic. But they said, can you drink just one drink? And I said, no, if I drink, and it says it even in the big book. I drink because I like the effects produced by it. When you drink, you know why you're drinking, to get jacked up. You know what I'm saying? And then for me, I have 6 or 7 beers. Okay, probably stone cold sober. I've never actually done cocaine stone cold sober. It's like go over to your boy's house, just, hanging out and working all day, and then you just go over to your boy's like, hey, have a couple lines. It just doesn't work out, But when I drink 6 or 7 beers, it's like, hey, you want to do a couple lines? Oh, sure, yeah, why not, bro? Next thing you know, 3 days later, everybody's in the closet, and I'm still over here freaking, rock starring it up. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. So yeah, I'm powerless because I can't have just one, and then I'm not accountable for my actions when I have 5 or 6. That's powerlessness. And for the first step, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and drugs and whatever, and our lives have become unmanageable. I like to break down the first step very simple. How many of you here know that you have a problem? That's honesty. That's straight up honesty. You know you have a problem. To thy own self be true. They said that in the Tupac movie today. To thy own self be true. Continue to stay honest. If I go to a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous and I come sit at the table and I'm sitting over here and I say, hey, I just want to let you know I used today. That's just me being truthful. Now, if I come to the table and say, I feel like using today, that's honesty. So the difference between honesty and truth, a truthful person's going to say, hey, I screwed up today. That's not being honest, it's being truthful where you're at. But what prevents you from using is going to the table beforehand, not worrying about what everyone's going to think about you, because in our minds, we screw ourselves in our minds going, hey, if I go to the table, I'm going to, like you. I guarantee you, you had that sponsor, and I guarantee you before you were using that, it clicked. Because it says, even in the Bible, it says, God will always give you a way out. And I guarantee you that your mind said, go to a meeting or call your sponsor. But you didn't. But you were worried, but your mind said, oh, I don't want her to do that. And I said it, and you just talked yourself right out of it. You just got to do it, man. When that voice says, go to a meeting, call somebody. Who cares what they think? Because it's not going to be as bad as you think. They're going to tell you, where are you at? We're going to come get you. Let's pray. Get to a meeting. Just be honest where you're at, man. Don't worry about what people are going to think. Because our disease will tell us 10 different things. But we just got to be honest where we're at. So just continue to stay honest. If you can be honest, you got the first step down. Just to continue to stay honest. Each and every day, one day at a time. Step 2. It says it in step 2. Open mind. Just have an open mind. Continue to have an open mind. Continue to stay open-minded. When someone suggests something to you, like when I suggested to you to just go ahead and, when you leave here, the first thing you need to do is call. the first thing you need to do is go ahead and call call that hotline and go to a meeting. Call Bridge the Gap and go to a meeting. All you got to do is have that open mind to do that and the willing to do that, and you've got the second step and the third step down. Because the second step is just to have an open mind to what I say, what all the speakers are going to say in the next 30 days that you're here, and just to take that information, be open-minded about it, even if you don't believe in it or you don't know if you believe in it. Have an open mind to try it, and then have the willing to do it. And that's how this program works. Honesty, open, and willingness is how it works. That's the first 3 steps. That's breaking it down as simple as I can break it down for you. The first 3 steps. Honesty, open mind, and willingness. Don't try to complicate it. That's the first 3 steps. And they will change over time. They will change for you over time. Over time, they'll be different to you. So over time, for me right now, the first step is I'm powerless over people, places, and things. I'm powerless over situations that are happening in my life today. I'm powerless over people. And I can use the first step and the second step like I'm using them right now today with my sister's situation. My sister has a husband that's using, and he continues to use, and now she's got to move out of her house, and you know there's bad stuff going on over there. And I'm powerless. I can't save them, and I can't do nothing about it. I'm powerless. I just got and their life is unmanageable, and that's how I'm using the first step. See how we can use that tool in a different way today. You know what I'm saying? I can use it in a different way, and I have to be on the second step. I got to be restored to sanity. I got to come to believe that power greater than myself is going to restore me to sanity, because my thinking, if you knew what my thinking was like, dude, I just go over there. I take this dude. I got a couple guys, man. We'll just freaking take this dude out, man. Just no one really miss him. He'd be gone. I know where to take him. No big deal. We'll get rid of this punk. Because my ego and pride gets in there. Because he's been running this little gapper a little bit too about some stuff, and my pride gets in the way. My ego gets in there, and I want to just handle things. Want to take control. Want to play God. But my mind doesn't realize that I have a child of my own. But see, when my ego and my pride is getting messed with, I forget about all that stuff. I can easily see drugs and alcohol ain't the problem for me. The ego is the problem for me. My biggest thing is my ego. And when my ego's getting messed with, it's like having a pit bull in the corner and you're trying to come, you know what I'm saying? The pit bull's showing his teeth. You know what I'm saying? And that's how my ego is. You know what I'm saying? And ego is edging God out. I'm just edging God out of my life because I want to play God. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest problem today, and I can know that today because I've worked the steps today. That's the ego. So, the first 3 steps are very simple. I do them real fast. If you guys are all willing to be open-minded, willing to do the rest of the work, and they're honest, you're doing the first 3 steps already. Now we get to the 4th step. And that's like I say with the guys that come to my house, man. Just have an open mind, Have an open mind and be willing to try it out. And if it don't work, it don't work. We'll have to refund your misery, or it might not work out for you. It's not for everybody, man. My house is not for everybody. Big Rob B is, he's 6'4", with almost 300 pounds, straight muscle. And yeah, he gets a little rowdy, and he gets a little, get up, and he gets a little hot-headed sometimes, but he's yelling at you out of love, and he's yelling at you because he's trying to keep you on track. When we had one guy, was at our program for 3 months, doing great, doing real good, but he didn't like the rules. He wanted to have a girlfriend. And we said, that's not the rules, you're not ready. And Robbie got all pumped up, and he's trying to teach him something, so in teaching him something, Robbie got all frustrated and threw all his stuff out on the front row and goes, get out of here then. That same dude's trying to come back to the house now because he realizes that girl's not there. We can easily let a woman or a man become our higher power. Slip. Sobriety losing its priority, and there's one under each skirt. Because so simply do we leave here and we let things become our higher power. And we got to find our higher power and get a relationship with it first before we can go ahead and try to do anything else. Because I'll tell you something, This was from when I was in 6th grade. A young girl told me this before, and I should, this should have been a red flag for me years ago. Which a lot of things in my life should have been a red flag, but I didn't just get it. But one of the red flags in my life was a 6-year-old when I was in a relationship with a girl in 6th grade, and she said to me, "You can't love anybody until you love yourself." She knew that about me back then. Now the same thing was said to me when I came in here at 27 years old, and my sponsor, Bobby Ramirez, which I can say his last name because he says that every meeting he goes to, says to me, "We're going to love you until you can love yourself." I said, "What are you talking about? I love myself." But I didn't love myself. How could I love myself if I put myself through the things I was letting myself go through? We don't love ourselves. That's why we do what we do. That's why my father-in-law, our brother-in-law, is doing what he's doing. He don't love himself. And that's why we try to feed our ego, because we don't love ourselves, so we're trying to build ourselves up with our ego to make it look like a persona. And on the outside, it's like a dressed-up garbage can. On the outside, it looks all nice and good, but on the inside, I'm full of shit. Pardon my language. I try to clean it up. I'm a Christian guy today, man. I do try to clean up, but sometimes you just got to say it. Call it how it is. You know? Shit is simply how I think. That's the acronym for that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, now we're going to get to the 4th step. And you've been here, so you've heard this one before. How many of you guys seen the movie 8 Mile? You guys all seen the movie 8 Mile? Have you seen the movie 8 Mile? Okay. 8 Mile. The last part of 8 Mile. You got Papa Doc and Eminem. Papa Doc's got all this information against him. We've had sex with your girl. We beat you up. You're living in a trailer park with your mom. Got all this ammo ready to attack you. Right? Well, Eminem goes first. And Eminem flips the script. And says, "Yeah, I am white trash. And yeah, all 5 of you punks did beat me up. And yeah, you did screw my girl. And yeah, you did, and the Cheddar Bob did shoot himself." So now what? It goes on to say all these things. See, because you allow Satan to get in your way and to allow him to know everything about you and to use those things against you. And he continues to play you. And sometimes we come around here thinking we're pimping God, but really Satan's got us pimped out. Satan's pimping you out. He knows everything about you. He knows everything about all of you and me. He knows everything about your grandfather, your great-grandfather. He knows all your stuff. And he knows how to hit those emotions and hit those buttons and hit those da-da-da, and continues to do them each and every day. But see, the problem is that you don't know, but now you know because I just laid it out for you, is that once you figure out those in step 4 and 5, he don't have that power over you no more. You have the power now. Because I can tell you right now, yeah, I've been sexually abused. Yeah, I've been physically and mentally abused. Yeah, I've gone through this. Yeah, I've gone through that. Yeah, I've gone through this. And guess what? It's not me. And now you can't use that against me no more because I've already laid it all up to you. Yeah, I was sexually abused as a kid. Yeah, when I was a young kid, I experimented with my friends, with my guy friends, and we experimented when we were young and our testosterone was going, and we weren't before we were messing with girls. Yeah, I did it. That was the thing that hung me up forever. And now it's out. And now I'm free. So now what? Now he's a little punk. Now Satan's a little mark. He ain't got that against me no more. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. Because I know what my higher power thinks of me. And I know what he's created me to be. And it don't matter no more. So stop taking it out of Satan's hands, put it in your own hands, and let it go. Because he's going to use you and pimp you. And you know what? Don't think that he doesn't still try to use insecurities and things in my life still today. But I'm aware of them today. And I know them today. You know, I lost both my parents when I was 19 years old. I didn't believe in God. You know, I cursed them and I did all kinds of things, and I didn't believe in God. Thank you, I appreciate that. But it was God that when I cried out for help, He was the one that saved me. You know, He was the one that He was the one that saved me. And I'm eternally grateful for that. Because you got to be beaten to that spot. You got to be beaten to that spot in order for Him to be. You got to be beaten down. The walls got to be torn down for you to be able to rebuild. It's kind of like this. This right here. If this cup is full, half full of garbage, how can I put good stuff on top of it? It's going to be contaminated, just like the bad stuff that's in there. So you got to pour out the old stuff in order to be renewed. And sometimes you just keep shoving stuff down there, shoving stuff in there until it's overflowed. And you just need to let go. And when I say let go, don't let go like this. Because whatever residue is left, you're just going to hold on to. But just go like this. And let it all out and surrender. Because that's surrendering. You know? I'm going to tell you the power of forgiveness. I don't really talk about this too much a lot of the times. But I think it needs to be said. Because, you know, I pray before I come here. I pray for the hearts of each and every individual in here. And He knows, God knows what you're going through and what you've been through. And I ask Him to give me the words that will help you out. Because He knows what you've been through and what you're struggling with. Someone in here must be struggling with forgiveness. Because I'll tell you right now, that is, you know, it's what He's telling me to say. And that's what I'm going to say. So many times was I not forgiving of my stepfather for what he had done to the family and what he had done.